Hello, this is Nitin Dahad with EE Times. I'm here on the Hardware Pioneers Max show floor with Crypto Quantique and Siemens EDA. I've got Lee Harrison from Siemens EDA. Hello, Lee.
Hi, Nitin.
And I've got Shahram Mossayebi, CEO of Crypto Quantique. Hello, Shahram.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, very good, very good. Thanks, Nitin, for having us.
Oh, good. So, you both sort of previewed a partnership, but what I'd like to do for the EE Times audience is just to get an understanding what that is and where that's going, but also go backwards in terms of what are you doing at Siemens EDA that requires what Crypto Quantique is doing. So Lee, off to you.
Yeah, so it's a really good question. So, as you say, very much a preview. We've been working on putting the partnership together for some time now. And at Siemens EDA, what we're seeing within our Tessent division is a bit of a shift in the market in terms of where test technology is heading. It's heading in the direction of silicon lifecycle management. And with silicon lifecycle management, there is an increasing need for security to be part of the solution. So that's where relationship with Crypto Quantique comes in, because Crypto Quantique have a really neat product offering, which we believe fits extremely well with our test infrastructure.
No, just to go back, so your customers, what are they doing that in that silicon lifecycle? Where do you fit in with that? You're doing simulation, the DFT, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so we're implementing all of the test infrastructure that goes into our customer semiconductors. In the past, that's very much been limited to manufacturing tests. Whereas with this whole shift in direction towards silicon lifecycle management, we're seeing our customers use the same technology and even more technology out in the field. So being able to plug in your chips and download diagnosis and reliability data from the silicon actually out live in the field.
Now, I mean, obviously there's a lot of players here in the show, and there are a lot of players in the market. What's specific about Crypto Quantique and the secure IP there?
Yeah, so obviously we're designed for test. There are lots of off-the-shelf security products out there, but for the design for test application, it has a certain number of very kind of unique requirements, and we've been doing a lot of research around the market, and we believe the Crypto Quantique solution addresses all those critical requirements.
What are those? I mean, example, critical requirements.
So for example, design for test is always it's additional silicon area that you have to add to your device for testing. So it's seen as a little bit of an overhead, even though it's a necessity. So keeping the actual area down on any additional features that we add, for example, security, is very much a must.
Okay.
And the new product that Crypto Quantique have just launched certainly does that. It has a very small footprint, so it fits very well with our overall test requirements.
Oh, that's a very good cue to Shahram. Shahram, so what have you just launched?
So we have a lightweight root of trust that is coming based on the technology designed within the Trusted Computing Group, TCG.
Yeah.
It's called Mars. So we have a Q root, Mars-based root of trust, which is a lightweight root of trust. Doesn't occupy a huge amount of area on silicon. It's very agile, and that helps with critical areas, such as what Siemens does for the customers, to provide the level of security that the customer is required, but at the same time, don't put too much overhead over the design.
And this is not a customer decision to use Crypto Quantique. It'll be Siemens EDA looking at incorporating that. Is that right? So you're sort of like in that supply chain.
That's what we are working together to get there. So ideally, we're going to integrate everything within Siemens tools and the products. So the customer basically has a choice of, do I want just a tool on its own, or do I want a secure one? And the secure one already comes with our IP.
And how, I mean, just generally, more broadly, because we haven't spoken for a while, Shahram, how is it going for Crypto Quantique in terms of that traction in the market?
Yeah. So definitely we're seeing a pickup in the market when it comes to security, mostly driven by the regulation and certification requirements from Cyber Resilience Act or RED that are happening on both silicon side and also the kind of device manufacturer software side of things.
Yeah.
The key is, which again, our Q-root, Mars-based root of trust will help, is what CRA is pushing for any electronic components to have a level of hardware security. You can't envisage having big secure elements or TPMs inside tiny devices or sensors and things like this, but because of CRA they need some level of security, and that's where we're kind of targeting now, to be providing that level of security while not giving them too much overhead and complexity.
And a relationship like this with Siemens EDA, what does that do for you? Does that sort of create more exposure? Does it create more potential volume for revenue and things like that?
Certainly all of those, but I think the most exciting part of it for both me and Lee, I suppose, is we've spoken in the past couple of years many times, and you always heard me talking about chip to cloud. Our vision always been security. We don't do security for just sake of security. We always saw security as an enabler for you as a customer to do greater things, to unlock more value, and that's exactly what's happening with Siemens here. Because once we get integrated within the DFD or the embedded analytic tools, then not only we provide security at the chip level for the customer to have, okay, now I have secure root of trust within my silicon, but now suddenly they are enabled to have remote access.
Okay.
And that enables more value during the silicon life cycle for the end customer to do more decision making in a more efficient way and save a lot of costs.
And you say preview, so when do we expect a full announcement or sort of more details? Or is that for Lee?
That's a really good question. I mean, there's something. I mean, we've had this relationship ongoing for a while now. We've done a lot of sharing on the technology and understanding between both companies' products. So I would hope to expect something, very soon. Once we kind of get the final details fleshed out, then
We're talking months or weeks?
Either.
Okay.
I expect probably within the next quarter. So.
Okay. And so what are the other things that Siemens EDA is doing in this area, which maybe be quite interesting for us to know?
I think at the moment our big push is developing a silicon lifecycle management strategy.
Okay.
So we're doing lots of work to really expand our portfolio into that direction. So along with this announcement, you may see other announcements in the future as well around that kind of space. So we're seeing a lot of push and a lot of motivation to kind of really head in the direction of this silicon lifecycle management space.
All right. Well, both of you, Shahram and Lee, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.